If you're a gardener in Central Florida, I got some good news for you because for the next 3 months, your garden is on easy mode. Let me explain. Number one, the bugs are gone. Number two, the torrential shock and awe downpours stopped. And number three, the cooler, more pleasant temperatures mean that those Eurasian crops you've been trying to grow all summer might actually survive. Now, if you can't garden or you choose to take a break, I'm going to show you how you can still make the most out of your time by making a plan for next year. This is my December garden guide for Central Florida. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Christina with Forever Food Forest, a channel where I explore ways of growing food without the use of herbicides, pesticides, or synthetic fertilizers, and instead I rely on permaculture gardening principles and other natural farming techniques to grow food. The change of the seasons in Florida. Unlike up north, right here we mark it by waving goodbye to hurricanes and welcoming an influx of snowbirds. Welcome to Great Gardens. Come out here to do some yard work. Everything died. I planted some cucumbers here. They died. They didn't know who they were dealing with. They can't handle a staunch woman. Looks like a monarch butterfly caterpillar on my leg. How precious. Okay, you need to be over here, dude. Don't fall. He's got it. So what are we planting, guys? Good news is in December you can plant the same crops that you started in October and November, minus the cucumbers. To keep it simple, I like to focus on root vegetables and brassicas. Carrots, rutabaga, parsnips, and even beets if you're brave. The most important thing is to grow things that you'll actually eat. As far as brassicas, I love broccoli. Broccoli de Chichu and Sun King have done the best for me. Kale, radishes are all in the brassica family, as well as arugula and a bunch of other things that are a little bit more obscure. And then you just have to think what goes well with carrots. Peas and carrots go together like two beans in a pod. Onions, this is probably the only time of the year that you can actually start planting onions. And then as far as herbs, you can plant calendula, comfrey, mint, cilantro. So some of the things that have really taken off around here recently are the cool season vegetables and flowers. Some of the things that I have growing in here, this is sweet peas. So they're a good cool season cold tolerant flower if you want to add a little bit of that color pop in your garden. Just be careful because they are toxic. Don't eat them. This is a broccoli. It's the Romanesco variety. Black-eyed Susans, once again, temperatures cooled off. It got a little drier and they just started growing. Here is my dahlia. I've started the seeds for these back in August. They like to be in a temperature between 60 to 70 degrees. Recently, they just really started adding a lot of new growth. And it looks like this one is forming a bud. You can plant these in Florida during the cool season because they can tolerate temperatures way into the 40s. So you don't have to worry about wrapping them like gifts around Christmas. The end of the year is also a perfect time to do a little yard cleanup. And as you're cleaning up, take a moment to do a little observation walk. You can even have a notebook to help you take notes and make a plan for the new year. Some of the things that you want to note are the light. And what I do is I note any areas of sun and shade, especially right now during the shortest daylight time of the year. It's really important to make the most out of those sunshine hours. Of course, during the hottest part of the year, you want to note where the shaded spots are. As you can see, we have a lot of random stuff here poked in a lot of different places. Can you guys let me know in the comments if you also find your lost garden tools in random spots in the garden, or am I just a crazy person gardening? It's what we call ADHD gardening. Right over here I have my lettuces. This is the little gem lettuces. It is a smaller, more compact variety of romaine. And right now with these cooler temperatures, if you like growing salad greens, get them in the ground now. Okay, I've been waiting to do this for like the last 3 months, and that is to get rid of papalo. If you watch this channel, you know my disdain towards papalo. I've seen a lot of gardening influencers promote papalo as a heat-tolerant alternative to cilantro. First of all, it tastes nothing like cilantro. The taste is more akin to burnt plastic mixed with uncured resin. I didn't want to rip it out because the pollinators seem to tolerate it. I also wanted to experiment and see if it deters root knot nematodes or any other type of pests. There are no pests in here, and it is very, very drought tolerant and persistent. Papillo, it's time to go. I'm gonna save these seeds and I'll leave them at the Orlando Seed Exchange, or Sue's Seed Exchange in Orlando, if anybody wants them. Well, now this looks kind of naked, doesn't it? I already started planting some Black-Eyed Susans. Oh, I have an idea. What if I plant some Snapdragons between the Black-Eyed Susans so you'll have like a pop of yellow and these long spikes? I think that would be really pretty. This is a Magic Carpet Snapdragon variety. It's multicolored, so we'll have pops of orange and purple and yellow. It's going to be really pretty. Another thing that you want to note is water flow. Where does the water pool or collect during periods of heavy rain? And this is the perfect time to start planning for swales or rain gardens and terraces as a way to collect or slow down some of that water. So one thing that you're going to notice about Florida soils is if you let them dry out fully, they become hydrophobic. This garden grid system is a drip irrigation system that slowly saturates the soil. Oh my gosh, it looks like the pigs came through here last night. This one unfortunately is not going to make it. As they root around, they completely rip out all of my marigolds. This one looks like it's still doing well. I'm going to transplant it in that garden bed over there because that bed is full of nematodes. And if you didn't know, French marigolds, especially these, produce a compound in their roots that deters the nematodes. Now, if you did not know, tomatoes love being transplanted. They are like that extroverted family that moves every 6 months, and no matter where they go, they quickly put down roots and seem to be loved by everybody. Now, here's a pretty useful hack when planting tomatoes. Tomato stems are covered with these tiny hairs that when they come in contact with soil, they make roots. So if you want to produce a really strong rooted tomato, you can plant them sideways. The one thing that you need to know about transplanting tomatoes in December is that it's really important that you keep an eye on the forecast and protect them during cold snaps. Tomatoes thrive in temperatures between 65 and 85 degrees. Temperatures below 50 can cause them to drop flowers and fruit. Take extra precaution and cover your plants. Also, you want to note if you have any wind tunnels on your property, as this is a great opportunity to start planting some hedges or installing a fence as a windbreak. And in doing this, you'll also be creating those so important microclimates for sensitive plants. So this is the area you don't often see in my videos. I can hear the collective gasp from people who live in HOAs. We are not in an HOA. Oh, it's not that bad. You know how it goes. Things just tend to accumulate after Labor Day. So today we're just going to be sorting. The key to organizing your space is knowing what to keep and what to throw away. These trays can be used for seedlings, so we're going to keep them for now. And all I'm doing right now is I'm just organizing stuff and putting it in piles. We're not throwing anything out. Mother doesn't like it when I throw things out. Weird tea kettle. Can go right next to the weird pan. Weird light. I think this belongs here. So another thing that I'm noticing is that these marigolds that I planted about a month ago are a little bit too close together. So we're going to take a moment and thin them out. If you can't or don't want to plant a garden right now, you can use this time to plant seeds of knowledge. Use this slower time of the year to research seeds and plants that you want to grow. If you are planting carrots this season, and you should because they thrive in this cold weather, one thing you notice is that they always grow close together. And while it might be tempting to space them out and transplant them, keep in mind that carrots do not like to be transplanted. They're like that one elderly couple that has been living on your block since the 1960s, and they have no plans to move. Another task that I want to challenge you to try this season is an annual review. So grab a journal and take time to reflect what worked and what you learned from gardening this year. And lastly, write down at least 3 goals that you have for next year. Do you want to establish a new permaculture guild in your food forest? Or do you want to increase your heat-tolerant food production? Then it might be a good idea to research some heat-tolerant perennials that you can grow in your food forest. Now, if you're paying attention and taking notes, I have a little surprise for you. I have put together all of my tips from this video into an email. So if you go to my website, foreverfoodforest.com, and subscribe to my newsletter, I will send you all of these tips right now and more throughout the year. As far as perennials, your blueberries, your strawberries, this is the time to plant them in the ground for a spring harvest. And one of my favorite times of the year is the loquat season, which usually starts around Christmas time for us. If you haven't had a loquat, if you haven't heard of a loquat, if you don't know what a loquat is, it's one of the most delicious fruits you can grow in your Florida landscape. All right, well, thank you all for watching. Drop a like on your way out, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, happy gardening.